What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Street Apologists Live, where we serve the underserved and look into the overlooked. I'm your host, Vocab Malone. Tonight is Friday, October 18th. It's 9 o'clock here on the West Coast. I know it's midnight. If you're on the East Coast, thanks for joining us. And tonight we are going to be getting into a response to David Wood and our video series that we do on Acts 17 Apologetics called The Boom Boom Room. I imagine if you're checking out this channel, most likely you've watched The Boom Boom Room. And shout out to you who have. Yes, sorry, Nate, there's no countdown. And yes, everyone, I do have the mug. What it is if you're a Patreon supporter, after 3 months of faithful giving, I forget which level it is. Actually, I got to look at it. One of the levels you get a mug, another one you get a poster, another one you get a sticker. And the reason I was a little bit late, I'm sorry about that, is number one, so you guys could watch David Wood's new video. Number two, because I had to make my latte. I had to finish it. Anyways, it's about time to start here. I know you guys can see Justice in the background, a.k.a. Mr. Scruffles. And I'm pretty excited that there's been some responses to the Boom Boom Room. The Boom Boom Room is a satirical series, imagine, where Muhammad has his own kind of talk show. And what he does is he interviews different guests. Some are fictional, some are real. You know what I'm saying? And they have these conversations. And then at some point a disagreement occurs. And the gag is that, of course, Muhammad blows up himself and the guests at the end of every episode. I'm not going to say who plays Muhammad. Whoever it is must be a brave soul and really seems to know his way around a camera, I must say. Whoever that guy is. Now, you can imagine there's been some responses to the Boom Boom Room series. And I said, you know what? We should do a response to one of them. But here's what's so beautiful. The response we're going to cover tonight is a lot of fun. It's not a guy who's upset, out of his mind, ranting and raving, threats. It's not like that at all. That's why I love this. The young man who did it is very good-natured, I would say, and is kind of fun to watch. I think he might go far. I think he could have a future in YouTube, as it were. And so, Built for Speed brings up a good point. Go ahead and hit that like button and grab the share. So here's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to play the video that he's responding to. Some of you have already seen it, but it's only like 6 minutes long, so it's really no big deal. Then I'm going to play his reaction. And speaking of, well, let me see here. At first, let me play a little bit of his intro. Let me give you a flavor of this guy, and then I'll play the video. Okay, you guys ready? So here is the response. And the cover image I used for this show was actually the cover image he made. So let's play some of this.
Hey guys, today I'm gonna make reaction and replay. I don't know what it will be. Anyway, this is a new video from Acts 17 Apologetics. I don't know how to read that. Anyway, he uploaded a new video. The name of the video is Muhammad Meets Socrates. Muhammad's Boom Boom Boom.
So you can tell he's good-natured already. He's laughing, right? He seems to have a genuine sense of humor. Now, it's clear English is not his first language. Respect to him, for putting this out in English and he's humble about that. But he understands the gist. There's a couple things that are lost in translation, but he understands the gist of it, I think. And you could tell his pronunciation is not exactly right. It's Socrates, of course. He didn't pronounce that right, but no big deal. He's younger. He may never have studied those guys, or maybe he knows it in a different way. Anyways, you're getting the flavor. So let me play a little bit more here.
Again. Oh my god. Okay, so I'll start this. I saw the video, of course, before to see what he's talking about, because I told you my English don't help me. So I want to see his videos to see what he's talking about. If I understand the video, so I will talk about it. I will try to replay. But the problem if I didn't understand, because I really don't understand English very well. My English is not perfect, and he don't make any subtitle. He don't make Arabic subtitle or not English also. If there's English, I will translate it by auto translate to Arabic, but no translated at all. Anyway, so I understand what he is talking about, but I'm afraid that I misunderstand something. So if I said anything wrong about what he say, so please correct me in the comments.
See, I like this guy's humility. I ask everybody who's watching this to go easy on this guy. Andrew Graham makes a funny point. The way Bill and Ted pronounced it, that's funny in regards to Socrates. What do they call him? Socrates? There's also a comment I wanted to... House Junkie 777. The Boom Boom Room is genius. You guys are amazing. The Joker's episode was epic. Peace be upon me. Love to you, vocab. Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate that. House Junkie. Get yourself a wonderful little profile pic. Doesn't have to be your real face, but we like to get some flavor in here. It builds a community. Anyways, thank you for the comment. So I'm going to continue on. So I'm asking everybody to go easy on this guy. First of all, he's young. Second of all, he's really good-natured about this. Third of all, he's very humble. You know what? I've met a lot of Muslims, and a lot of times, they know a couple languages. And I've met a lot of Muslims who are very self-conscious about their English. But almost always, I can understand almost every Muslim I've met who has English as a second or third language. I've almost always been able to make through the conversation. And I've always appreciated their humility when we discuss these issues. And this guy has that trait as well. And I appreciate that. Now, if you guys don't understand, with the Boom Boom Room, my philosophy is we go after Muhammad because he claims to be a prophet, the final prophet who supersedes everybody and teaches really messed up stuff that's unbiblical and creates problems in the world and roadblocks to the gospel. So I believe on going after that whole hog. When it comes to a Muslim, it's different. I think we can separate out Islam from Muslims and Muhammad from people who may be his followers. And I just ask you guys to do the same. So let's play this.
And I will try to do my best. So now let's see what it's talking about. And yeah, let's get started. Muhammad's boom boom boom.
Oh, I'm in the way of it. Let me fix that real quick here. Actually, let's stop it there. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to the beginning of when he plays it. As guys remind me, that's at 1:35. I'm going to actually play the real video, then we're going to play his reaction, okay? Everybody ready? Here's the actual Boom Boom Room episode. All right, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Muhammad's Boom Boom Room, where all of my guests either agree with me completely or they go boom. I am your host, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon me. And with me now is a man who has been called history's greatest questioner, which is perfect because I've been called history's greatest womanizer. Prophet Socrates, thank you for joining me.
Oh, I'm not a prophet.
Well, you are now, because whenever I talk about any important person from history, I say that he's a prophet of Islam. It's an easy way to convince that person's followers to believe in me.
It might be better to speak the truth and not make stupid claims.
Okay, so let me stop real quick to make sure everyone understands what's going on. We're going to play a young Muslim's reaction video to the Boom Boom Room, but first I'm actually playing the episode. It's only 6 minutes long or so. There's actually only 5.5 minutes left already, or something like that. And that way when he plays it back, you guys will understand, because there's some parts where it's only audio on his video. So I want to make sure everybody understands what he's critiquing first, okay? So I'm playing the actual episode first. It's short. And real quick, I want to point out something, and this point that's already been made here. Muhammad tries to say that Jesus was a Muslim. All the early apostles, the disciples, were all Muslims. And so that's the point we're making, where we're calling Socrates a prophet of Islam. No, in actuality, to anyone's knowledge, unless there's something I don't know, Muhammad never said that Socrates, the great, philosopher of ancient Greece, was a Muslim. But as Gerard Perry points out in the comments, Lot is called a prophet in Islam. Adam is. I think Alexander the Great is described, if I'm not mistaken. So, with all that being said, that's what we're starting out with. And this is pretty funny. I don't know if you guys caught this when we first did this, but Socrates is just saying, hey, I'm not a prophet of Islam. Why are you calling me that? And here's Muhammad's reaction to that, okay? So I think everyone's caught up to speed. Here we go. A prophet of Islam says what?
What?
A prophet of Islam says what?
What?
Alhamdulillah. Now we have even more proof that I am a prophet of the great God Allah. Even the prophet Socrates spoke about me.
So, you can write now?
No, I just draw pictures.
I thought pictures were forbidden.
Stupid book!
So, you claim to be an expert in religious matters.
Peace be upon me. With the book bit, we're sort of poking a little bit at the idea that Muhammad is the author of a whole book and yet is illiterate. There's some basic aspects about Islamic history, especially in regards to Muhammad's biography and the biographical materials that exist, that can be called into question. I'm not one of those guys who says Muhammad never existed. I don't think that's a tenable position, in my opinion. However, Muhammad was a caravan trader, going around with Khadijah, his first wife. That whole time, he never picked up how to read or write. I guess it's possible, hypothetically. But just calling into question about that. There's even some people who question the translation of the idea of the illiterate prophet. There's some debate that might mean the Gentile prophet or the unlettered prophet. There's some debate about that. I can go with the traditional translation, but we're kind of just poking around there with this. So let me continue on here. You can ask me any question, and I shall answer it.
Well,
sorry I'm adding commentary here to the episode, but I'm just watching stuff and it reminds me. The reason we did that little line, is because Muhammad was asked about all kinds of things. And I always say to David, if Muhammad would have just mastered 3 little words, the world would be a better place. And those 3 little words that Muhammad should have mastered that he never did was, I don't know. Meaning, he tells you what stars are for. They're for Allah to hurl at demons as missiles. He tells you about, what's underneath the earth. He tells you about the shape of the earth. He tells you about where the sun sets. He tells you about where sperm is formed. He tells you all these things, and he basically gets them all wrong. If Muhammad would have just learned those 3 little words, I don't know, Islam would be a different religion. The other words he should have learned, the 2 words are, I'm sorry, but that's not in his wheelhouse either. Let me play this.
I've been reading your book, and I'm a little confused as to your view of creation.
Peace be upon me. You've come to the answer, man. So what happens is now, this is going to be the main part that our Muslim friend is going to interact with. So everyone pay attention to this, okay? Pay attention to this part right here because this is going to be the main part he's going to interact with. By the way, shout out to Corinne Chandler for the super chat. Shout out to you. And Richard James, my man Castro, says I should connect with the dude on the Dean show. Ha! That's interesting. I don't know if he ever even messes around with Christians. That's funny. That's funny you watched that. How the heck do you watch the Dean show? All right, here we go, though.
Say in chapter 30, verse 20 of the Quran, that Allah created human beings from dust.
Peace be upon me. Allah indeed created us from dust. All right, so here I am in Surah 30:20. It's not the best translation, but it's a popular translation. So I'm looking here at the Yusuf Ali, along with the commentary. Among his signs is this, that he created you from dust, and then behold, ye are men scattered far and wide. Let's see what his commentary is. He says, in spite of the lowly origin of man's body, Allah has given him a mind and soul by which he can almost compass the farthest reaches of time and space. Is this not enough for a miracle or sign? From a physical point of view, see how man, a creature of dust, scatters himself over the farthest corners of the earth. That's not necessarily really much to that commentary, but let's continue.
Dust is dry, is it not?
Dry. Peace be upon me.
Yet in chapter 24, verse 45, the Quran declares that Allah creates every living creature from...
All right, let's go to 24:45. If you noticed, the Boom Boom Room is not really pure mockery. Sometimes I hear critics label it as such. It's actually very content-driven. The way David and I have envisioned it is that it's content-driven, and comedy is simply the vehicle by which to convey the information. I kid you not, these are discussions we have. But here's 24:45. And Allah has created every animal from water. Of them there are some that creep on their bellies, some that walk on two legs, and some that walk on four. Allah creates what he wills, for verily Allah has power over all things. Two things. Number one, in the Quran, Jesus actually creates. Now, they say, it's because Allah gave him leave, but it shows Muhammad doesn't ever create. Jesus creates birds from clay, supposedly, which, of course, is not even original to the Quran. But you have that. But not only that, notice the contradiction. This is the direct contradiction of the Bible. God has not created every animal from water. What is this? Let's see what Yusuf Ali's commentary is. Protoplasm, oh boy. I knew that they were going to go there. Let's listen to this. Protoplasm is the basis of all living matter. They're trying to say that the water there is protoplasm. And the vital power of protoplasm seems to depend on the constant presence of water. They quote a science textbook from 1922 in Yusuf Ali's commentary here. I kid you not. Textbooks on zoology are also clear on the point. For example, see T.J. Parker and W.A. Haswell, Textbook of Zoology, London, 1910, which says, living protoplasm always contains a large amount of water. Oh my goodness. They're trying to say that this means everything has protoplasm because it relies on water. That's the apologetics. But that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is, in one place you have Allah creating from dust, and the other place you have him creating from water. That's what's called an internal contradiction. It's not an external contradiction like the sun sets in a muddy pool of water. That's an external contradiction contradicted by facts external to the Quran. This is actually an internal contradiction.
Water.
Yes. Water is the substance from which Allah has created all living things.
And human beings are living creatures, are they not?
Peace be upon me.
So
it says all living things, that would include humans, out of water. Now watch this.
beings are created from water.
Peace be upon me.
Isn't water wet?
Peace be upon me.
And wet is the opposite of dry?
Peace be upon me.
So, according to the Quran, human beings were created from dust, which is dry, and also created from water, which is the opposite of dry. Human beings were thus created from that which is simultaneously dry and not dry.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Zakanai. I like this scene because if you notice, there's no build-up. Like while Socrates is talking, clearly Muhammad pulls out his phone and then calls Zakar Naik while Socrates is laying out this contradiction. I love that because there's no build-up. Part of comedy is surprise, and to me it's funny because it's a surprise. When a camera pans back to he's already on the phone with Zakar Naik out of nowhere. What's funny is the young man who watches this, he laughs at the idea of the phone call. He thinks it's funny, but he doesn't seem to understand that it's with Zakar Naik. So maybe he doesn't know much about Islamic apologetics. I don't know. Maybe we didn't explain it well. I don't know. He seems to actually think it's from Gabriel because of what Muhammad says here at the end. But let's continue on here.
Not dry.
Assalamu alaikum, brother Zakar Naik. What do I do when I've been caught in a contradiction? Thank you for rescuing me yet again. I'll see you soon. Well, whenever you're done hiding, wherever it is you're hiding to avoid prosecution. Prophet Socrates, the angel Gabriel has given me the answer. When the great God Allah created man, he took some water and mixed it with some dust, thus creating mud. And Allah created man by shaping this mud into a man. So here's part of the humor with that. And thank you, Nate, for correcting me. I really appreciate that. You're right. There was no pan. The camera cut back, which is what I meant to say. And I'm very glad you've rescued me yet again, much like Zakar Naik rescues Muhammad from his own book. And that's actually the joke we're making here, in a sense, is that, you know, there's these clear issues in the Quran, and the Muslim apologists come along and essentially rescue Muhammad from his own internal contradictions. Obviously, they're not on the phone or anything, but we're playing that out in real time. Man, I'm enjoying doing this commentary in this episode. I'm wondering if I should do a commentary on every episode of the Boom Boom Room. Is this something I should do? You guys let me know, because this is kind of cool. I haven't done this before. I'm only doing this because of the reaction video. You guys let me know. The Zakar Naik impression, Nate, is one time it's from actually Christian Prince, believe it or not. And the other time, it's actually a recording of him. Now, I forget which one is which, to be honest. I don't remember if this is... I think this is the one... If I'm not mistaken, I think this is actually Zakar Naik, and the next one's Christian Prince. But don't quote me on that.
Allah is sharing his recipe for making man, like mixing a cocktail or baking a cake. Mix 1 part water with 2 parts dust, then take the mud and shape it into man.
Peace be upon me. Allah takes multiple substances and stirs them together to create a man.
And yet, Allah says in chapter 19, verse 67 of the Quran, but...
Hold on. We need to go there.
Does not man call to mind that we created him before out of nothing?
All right, let's see. Here we are, 1967. Can you guys see my... No, you can't really see it in the camera. But I'm going over here to the Yusuf Ali translation with commentary. You got it. Someone said yours only has the text. Yeah, there's a commentary version. That's what I have. But does not man call to mind that we created him before out of nothing? You know what? I'm really missing the commentary. So let me bust open my study Quran and see if it's got commentary in there. Just because I'm missing Yusuf Ali's commentary. It kind of feels lonely without it. Don't you guys think? Just reading the verse by itself. Does not man remember that we created him before when he was not? In several other verses, similar rhetorical questions are posed by the idolaters in order to dismiss the idea of resurrection after death, followed by similar responses indicating that God's ability to create human beings the first time should be sufficient proof that he can do it again. Yeah, but the resurrection is not a recreation. That's a strange commentary because I know what they're trying to say, but the resurrection is not a recreation. Anyways, let's continue on here. Alhamdulillah. Allah is the best of creators. He creates from nothing.
Aren't dust, water, and mud something?
Peace be upon me.
And something is the opposite of nothing, is it not?
I don't like where you're going with this. maybe nothing is another ingredient that Allah mixes with the water and the dust.
I'm sure Allah could have quite the cooking channel based on his...
Now, in a second, David pinned this line, so I give him credit for this. One of the most epic lines of the whole series. It's totally an underrated line. Listen to what he says here. This is an epic line. Now follow the discussion and listen to what David... Now, he wrote this line. Like I said, I'm giving him total props in this. This is a killer line.
I'm sure Allah could have quite the cooking channel based on his recipes for creating things. He sounds like Gordon Ramsay with the Infinity Gauntlet. But according...
After the whole discussion, if you're following what's going on, that is the best. That simile is killer. He sounds like Gordon Ramsay, but with the Infinity Gauntlet. You know, creating with the recipe. Oh, man, that... Castro says, I get and enjoy the overuse of the peace be upon me phrase. It's funny. Everyone likes that. That's so funny. You're not the only one. That's funny, but that line is epic.
I'm sure Allah could have quite the cooking channel based on his recipes for creating things. He sounds like Gordon Ramsay with the Infinity Gauntlet. But according to chapter 3, verse 47 of the Quran, when Allah creates, he simply says, be.
All right, let's go here. And yes, I did say study Quran. I actually encourage everyone to get the study Quran. It's written by modern but conservative Islamic scholars. Now, hardcore folks will say they're not, but they try to do logical apologetics about as good as you can, but it's relatively honest. Now, it plays some games, but it's relatively honest about certain things, and so it's actually really insightful. 347 commentary. Well, actually, let's read 347 verse. She said, My Lord, how shall I have a child while no human being has touched me? He said, Thus does God create whatsoever he will. When he decrees a thing, he only says to it, be, and it is. Commentary. For Gabriel's announcement of Jesus to Mary, see 19:16 through 21. Why not just see the Gospels? That's where you should cross-reference, guys. He only says to it, be. It's discussed in 117, and is also found in 673, 1640, 1935, 3682, 4068, and verse 59 of this surah. It is connected explicitly with Adam and Jesus. You know what? I think it's time to bust out. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm going to bust that out later. All right, I got some other resources I might get to. All right, continuing on.
And it is.
Peace be upon me. As I have said, Allah is the best of creators.
So, Allah creates simply by saying the word be, and yet he creates by some lengthy step-by-step process where he mixes together different ingredients and fashions them into a certain shape before breathing into them. Clearly, this goes far beyond simply saying the word be.
I don't see... The point that David Socrates is making there is that certain Quranic passages appear to indicate a step-by-step or staged kind of process for creation of man, and other ones, like that one we just read, indicate some kind of immediacy, where he just says be and it is. So that's a fine enough point. Problem.
Are you familiar with the law of non-contradiction?
Sounds like pagan philosophy.
Your
we thought it would be funny that anytime the laws of logic get mentioned, that Muhammad brushes it off as pagan philosophy. So again, maybe I should do these commentaries because I'm realizing that some of the jokes are going over people's heads. Some of them. So the deal with that is if you talk to the average Muslim on the street, when you start getting into certain levels of theology, they'll say that sounds like philosophy. We don't philosophize. I'm not saying every Muslim you'll ever meet. You'll meet some college student like at Arizona State who, by the way, we just hit 100 viewers, so I owe you guys a freestyle at the end of this. And they'll maybe get into philosophy. There's actually a video today I watched of a guy who was a college professor somewhere that was a faithful Muslim but was incredibly insightful, was really smart and on his stuff, and he was bringing up all kinds of philosophical concepts. he was bringing up Lawrence Krauss and everything. I got to find that guy's video again because I was thoroughly impressed. I think sometimes people underestimate the level of intellect of many members in the Islamic community. Sometimes we just kind of see the worst, you know what I'm saying? And we write that off. But there are some really bright people. Anyways, but the average Muslim on the street will, a lot of times, brush something off as philosophy. So the laws of logic are not part of, pagan philosophy. They're the laws of thinking for proper thought, how to make an argument that is valid and sound and cogent. You can use technical or non-technical words, right? But it's funny whenever, like, the law of non-contradiction, that's one of the 3 classical laws of logic. It's really essential for everything. That, the law of excluded middle, and the law of identity. So it's funny to have Muhammad brush off the law of non-contradiction as pagan philosophy. Although the Quran itself does say in 482, will they not then ponder on the Quran? If it had been from other than Allah, they would have found therein much incongruity. Incongruity is another word for contradiction. So Surah 482 is about the non-contradictory nature of the Quran, supposedly. So here the Quran claims for itself something that's not true. This verse is actually a little bit strange because it's saying that if the Quran was not from Allah, then you would find a lot of contradictions. But it's weird that it says much incongruity. Well, you can find some. Shouldn't it be none? That's how the doctrine of inerrancy works for Christians. God is a God of truth. He authors Scripture. Therefore, the Scripture is only affirms that which is true. Something like that. It's not much incongruity. You don't need if you find one, it's kind of a done deal, right? Anyways, let me keep on playing this.
God sounds like the God of contradiction.
Oh, yeah? Well, you're correct that Allah has a saying. He says be, and it is. But I also have a saying. Do you want to know what it is?
Do enlighten me.
Allahu Akbar! Get it? Do enlighten me? And then he blows them up. Do enlighten me? You guys get it? All right, so now that you've seen the video, we're gonna go back to my man's video and watch his reaction since it's fresh in everyone's mind. Now his volume is not gonna be as good
Today
as mine, okay?
I'm gonna make reaction.
But this is a Muslim young man video, and let's watch his reaction together. I've got the volume all the way up. We're going right into it. This is him reacting to the video that you guys just saw, okay? So I'm going to put myself down here. This screen is the way his screen looked, obviously, except for the street apologist stuff. And obviously, except for, me being on his screen. Okay, so let's play it. Here we go. See, he's laughing at the title. He's a cool guy. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Muhammad's Boom Boom Room, where all of my guests
This is
either agree
Prophet
with
Muhammad.
me completely,
This is really
or
bad
they go
stuff.
boom. It's funny, he says this is really bad, but then he's laughing. It's like he can't help himself. I like this guy. We really need to be nice to this guy. We need to pray for this guy. He doesn't give his name in the video, but I like this guy. This is really bad, he says, while he's laughing. Okay, it's good.
This is really...
I'm your host,
How you can do
Prophet
that?
Muhammad. How can you do that? This is really bad. How can you do that? Well, in all seriousness, though, the idea is we want to expose people to information that's true about Muhammad so they do not view him as a prophet, because if you view him as a true prophet, he will lead you down a path you do not want to go. That's a serious matter. Peace be upon me. And with me now is a man... Notice he laughs at the peace be upon me, which is ironic because later on, he's actually going to misunderstand the peace be upon me line. So it's funny that he laughs. It's just like funny to people no matter what, apparently.
It's been called
history's
and what
greatest question.
There's nothing like this in the Prophet Muhammad's
perfect,
time, no.
Because I've been called history's greatest womanizer. Prophet Socrates, thank you for joining me.
Oh, I'm not a prophet.
Well, you are now. Because whenever I talk about any important person from history, I say that he's a prophet of Islam. It's an easy way to convince that person's followers
Okay, let's
to
skip
believe
this.
in me. So he skips a whole section of the video and jumps right into the contradiction part. So he's already watched it. So let's check this out. You can ask me any question.
Yeah, let's start by question.
Creation.
Peace be.
Confused.
Notice he's skipping around there. You guys are asking about his ethnicity. I don't know, but I can tell you this. Let me. I'm actually going to bring up. Oh man, where'd it go? I'm going to actually bring up his where'd it go? Yeah, it's called Arab Muslim Reaction. So he's describing himself there as an Arab in his own video. He's describing himself as an Arab. That's what it's titled. Muhammad's Boom Boom Room. Muhammad meets Socrates, Arab Muslim Reaction. It's got almost 1,100 views. His channel just says Arabic. He doesn't have that many subscribers, but this video's got over 1,000 views, which I already mentioned. I actually will try to drop the link in the live chat for you guys. Now, I don't mind if you thumb down the video, but let me just say real quick that I went through the comments on this video, and I was a little disappointed. I feel like he was a friendly guy, and I kind of felt like some of the comments underneath the video were a little harsh on him. If you guys leave a comment, will you show him Christian love, or, reach out? If you leave a comment, like show Christian love. Don't be harsh like a lot of the comments were, please. But let me play it here.
To your reading your book, and I'm a little confused as to your view of creation.
Peace be upon me. You've come to the answer, man.
You say in chapter 30, verse 20 of the Quran, that Allah created human beings from dust.
Peace be. Notice he knows the Quran. I don't know if you caught that, everybody, but the verse reference wasn't given, yet he says underneath his breath, it's hard to see because his hand covers his mouth. When Socrates says dust, he says dust. So listen to that again. So he knows the Quran.
That Allah created human beings from dust.
Peace be upon me. Allah indeed.
First of all, the Prophet Muhammad don't say peace be upon me. I mean, where you got this from? This is lying. I mean.
So again, let's try to give him a break a little bit on this, because I don't think he's willing. I don't think he's really kind of knowingly going off here. He saying we're lying. He clearly doesn't understand the humor. So there's an element missed. He's correct. Muhammad never says peace be upon me, right? But the whole script is not stuff literally Muhammad said. Well, sometimes it is. But he's hearing that again, because in the script we say it a lot more. So he misunderstands. He thinks we're lying. What we're doing is, of course, is how Muslims, every time they mention Muhammad's name, they say peace be upon him, right? That's the English translation. PBUH, you'll see it sometimes in parentheses. So what we have Muhammad do is anytime he mentions his name, he says, peace be upon me or something like that. Although we're not totally consistent with it because it doesn't always flow in the script. There is artistic license, as you can imagine. But we've also ended up using peace be upon me as kind of the way Groot says his name. If you guys have seen Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or 2 or any movie with the Guardians in it with the Avengers, Groot only says his name, but he says it different ways, and apparently Vin Diesel had this all worked out. Vin Diesel is a voice actor for Groot. We use peace be upon me similar to Groot. So as an affirmative, as a negative, as a confusing thing, and so it's just part of the humor.
Ever. The Prophet Muhammad never said, alayhi salam, alayhi salatu wassalam.
Notice he's a native Arab speaker, by the way.
You are lying. You have to be careful about this, because you are calling people to God.
Now, I like this. Even though this is a deconstruction of the Prophet Muhammad, he still understands on our apologetics work that we're calling people to Christianity. And he's making a good point. You shouldn't lie about the topic or fudge the truth when you're calling people to truth, right? He's correct about it. He just misunderstands the satire. So again, let's give him a break.
People to Jesus, to the Christianity, to a religion.
Amen.
I think.
Calling people to Jesus. Yes, you're right. I'm glad he caught that. You noticed that? That's beautiful. I want to play that again.
Because you are calling people to God. You are calling people to Jesus, to the Christianity, to a religion. I think you are calling people to God. So you have to don't lie. Because people believing you, I mean, they believe you. So this is really bad. Okay, so talk. Okay, you can have fun like this, but don't.
See, even that's cool. Again, let's give this guy a break. You hear that? You can have fun like this. He seems to have somewhat of an allowance for humor in these discussions. First of all, he was laughing at it. Second of all, he says you can have fun like this. He's much more relaxed than Muhammad himself was in regards to satire. Praise the Lord, right? That's why I like this guy. This is a guy we really need to pray for. He's going to say something at this end of this video that is beautiful and shocking. I think it'll really give you guys a heart for him.
I mean, okay, so let's continue.
Created us from dust.
And dust is dry, is it not?
Dry. Peace be upon me.
Yet in chapter 24, verse 45.
What's up with that cup, though, bro? You need to get a new cup, man. Send me your address, man, and I'll try to send one of these to you, because that cup you're using is sad. Let's get this man's address, and let's try to send him one of these. That's what we need to do.
The Quran declares that Allah creates every living creature from water.
Yes, yes. Water is the substance from which Allah...
Okay, so this is the first problem, and this is the first wrong. I mean, how I can go back? Yeah, this. Where is it? Allah created every living creature from water. This is wrong translation. I know that you will say that this is the translation of Quran, but yeah, the translation of Quran in English is really wrong. I mean, I will give you...
Now, we'll just stop right there. I don't think he's trying to be dishonest. I don't know what's going on, but I think he thinks this. But, you know, we've read Yusuf Ali, and Yusuf Ali even used it as an apologetic point. Remember the Yusuf Ali commentary? Tries to say that since water is a component in protoplasm, and protoplasm is a necessary component for living creatures to have, this is the way the argument is in his notes, in essence, that the Quran is just affirming the necessity of protoplasm for living beings. So it's based upon the concept that it's actual water. His argument, Yusuf Ali's, is. Now let's look here at the study Quran, which is a little more sophisticated usually, and see what they say, 24:45. It's a little bit of a long entry, but let me read this, okay? Here's the study Quran. Beast renders daba, which means an animal that ambulates on the surface of the earth, which would therefore exclude fish. Some commentators, such as Al-Razi, seem to understand water, notice they're affirming that the translation is water, to be a reference to reproductive fluids, and interpret the verse on that basis. So it's saying, I think, there that they're saying some Quranic interpreters, such as Al-Razi, understand water to be, in essence, sperm or semen, right? Similar verses are 21:30, and we made every living thing from water. So if the young man does believe this is an incorrect translation in English, he's also got to explain to us, what about 21:30? And what about 25:54? And he it is who created a human being from water. In the Quran, different kinds of beings are described as made from different substances. Human beings are described as made from clay, 6:2, 32:7, water, 25:54, and dust, 22:5, 30:20, 35:11. Now this is a little strange, because the study Quran is actually telling you the Quran has got at least 3 different substances human beings are made of, 2 of which are the opposite, but I think they have a way, they try to rectify it, I understand. Iblis, that's Satan, was created from fire, 7:12. Isn't that weird, though? The Quran says that Satan was created from fire. That's what you call a retcon. And the jinn from a smokeless fire, 55:15. In the hadith, the angels are described as being created from light. See It's Quran 230 and 5531. Again, this is why Study Quran's a good resource to have. You can tell it's a little more in-depth than Yusuf Ali. But I'm just having him contend with the Study Quran translators as well as Yusuf Ali. You know what else? I've got a friend of mine. He's an Arabic speaker named Little Jacob. Obviously, that's a pen name. But he is an Arabic speaker, and he has something called the Authentic Quran. And let's see what he has for 2445. So this is the third translation we're turning to. And God has created every animal from water. Of them, some walk on their bellies, and some walk on 2 legs, and some of them walk on 4 legs. God creates what he wills. Indeed, God is over all things mighty. All right. Now, of course, as little Jacob points out, the real creation of animals is found in Genesis 1, 20 through 25, and it contradicts what the Quran is saying. So that we haven't even brought up that problem in Socrates' discussion, but let's continue on here. Wait, what? I found an address for him to get the mug, 622 Det Court Way, Istanbul, not Constantinople, Turkey. Are you serious? How would you know this guy's address? Gator Bait Bill, if you're serious, can you send that to me? Because I feel like maybe you're playing a joke. I don't know. Like that's the consulate or something weird that I don't know or something like that. Can someone write this down? I need this later. I can't write this down right now. But let me know if you're serious about this. That's bizarre. If that's true, that means he would be Turkish, perhaps. All right, continuing on.
The example, there's part. I don't understand. I can't understand how, why, who translate this. The gods say, لا أقسم بيوم القيامة, and that means I don't swear in the judgment day. يوم القيامة, I think.
So I know it's going to go off a little bit. What the young man here is doing, everybody, is he's giving an example from his knowledge base of what he views as a mistranslation in English Qurans. And he's saying, just like that's mistranslated, this is mistranslated. That's what he's saying. Although he hasn't told us yet how it should be translated, has he?
English, it should be judgment day. But the problem is, God say, I don't swear. لا أقسم. And I saw the translation is, I swear in the judgment day. Because the meaning is, I swear. I know that a lot of people say, what is the meaning of لا أقسم بيوم القيامة? The meaning is, أقسم بيوم القيامة. But why the translation is like the meaning? The translation should be like the official script or the real words. The real words is I don't swear, and the translation is I swear. So people translate it how they think. So this is wrong. Now I will tell you, God say, وجعلنا من الماء كل شيء حي. وجعلنا, first of all, it's not Allah created. وجعلنا, that we made. Okay, so this is crazy. This is Allah created. That means Allah khalaqa in Arabic. And the words, the real words is وجعلنا, we made. من الماء, from water, everything alive. This is different.
Oh, so it's not even the water he has a problem with. So I misunderstood. He's not saying the water is incorrect. He's saying instead of Allah created, it should say we made. We made everything alive from water. Help me out. I think I'm missing something in his argument. He's trying to make a point, so I'm genuinely trying to understand him. How does that change it? We made everything alive from water. Are you guys following? Guys, help me out. Help me. Let's try to actually understand what he's saying, because I do not understand.
Because here Allah created every living creature from water. That He created it from water, and the real words say that He made every creation, everything in this world alive by water. Okay, do you understand what is the difference? I mean, the water is reason to make you alive.
Okay. It sounds like he's saying Allah used water to make everything alive. Not that he created them from water. Maybe he's actually going the same way that the protoplasm argument. Maybe that's what he's trying to say. I think I understand what he's trying to say. He's like, the means or the method that Allah used to make things alive was water. Now, I don't fully still grasp that. Maybe that's what he's trying to do.
But not something made you. I don't know if you understand. I'm sorry because my English. I will try to say it again. I mean, yeah, God created us from dust. Okay? So
the idea is God created us from dust, but he used the water to make us alive. I think that's what he's trying to say.
water is nothing or nothing. I don't know how to say that. I mean, it's just dust. There's no water. Water is reason to make you alive. It's not something in you. I think you understand now. If you don't understand, so it's your problem, because I think it's clear now. God created us from dust, not from water and dust. Because he will say next that God created us from water and dust, and I don't know. No. This is wrong. Allah created every living creature from water. It's really wrong translation, because I know this surah, I know this ayat, I know this part from Quran. It's we made from water, وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ, from water, everything is alive. So without water, nobody can live. I mean, not the humans, not the animals, not the trees, nothing. Everything need water. But
Okay, so it actually does sound like along the same ways of Yusuf Ali. If I was a Muslim, if I understand this line of argumentation, which sounds similar to Yusuf Ali's, actually, I would probably utilize the same argumentation. Although it's interesting, you got commentators who say that this is seminal fluid.
not everything created from water. Do you see the difference? So the next thing, it's wrong. Water.
Yes. Water.
Look. Now, two things going on here. Number one, I think it's funny that he thinks the way David says water is funny, and he's laughing at it. He's a cool guy. But what's weird is, I don't know why, but at this point, his video no longer plays. That's why I played it for you at the beginning. So all we're going to hear right now is the audio. But we've already watched the video, so it should be okay. So let's go on. And by the way, hit that like button and grab this link and share it. All right, here we go.
Is the substance from which Allah has created all living things.
No, this is wrong. You are lying again, Muhammad.
I never caught that. You were lying again, Muhammad. No, I know what he means. He's saying the character Muhammad is lying again. Just, oh, that's so funny. That's a great clip, man. Oh, that's a great clip. He's got to watch himself with that. You know what I mean? That's great. Oh, man. Oh, this is fun. Now, I mean, he's saying we're lying, but we're quoting common translations. So are you accusing these translators who are faithful Muslims of lying?
Prophet Muhammad say things not exist in Quran. This is another lie.
Creatures, are they not? Peace be upon them. So human beings are created from water. Peace be upon them. Isn't water
No.
wet?
That's funny. Revelation 22:13 brought up a funny point. He's got a problem with the English translation, but his English is not great. That's a great point. He's telling us how bad his English is. And then he wants to correct the English translators of the Quran. Oh, man. That's legit. I'm sorry. He got you on that one, man. This is too fun. But you know what? This guy made it fun because he's a cool guy.
Peace be upon them. And wet is the opposite of dry. Peace be upon me. So,
No, he accepts
according to the Quran,
everything
human
he's saying.
beings were created from dust.
So notice he caught it that, yeah, I say this a lot. But the funny thing is he laughs. He's like, oh, he says it after everything he says. He's laughing at it.
Which is dry, and also created from water, which is the opposite of dry. Human beings were thus created from that which is simultaneously dry and not dry.
Assalamu alaikum, Brother Zakir.
Who calling someone?
He's calling someone, so he's laughing at this part. That he didn't catch that it was Zakir Naik. He might, like I said, not know. But watch what he says at the end. I think it's funny, though. He just thinks it's funny.
Oh man, this is really crazy.
Thank you for rescuing me yet again. I'll see you soon. Well, whenever you're done hiding wherever it is you're hiding to avoid prosecution.
I didn't understand what he
Prophet
said.
Socrates,
I don't understand what he said. So he missed that part. It's all right.
the angel Gabriel has given me the answer.
Gabriel.
When the great God
Jibreel.
Allah created man,
But see, the thing is, Muhammad wasn't actually on the phone with Gabriel. What we're trying to say is that, he's claiming it's a revelation from Gabriel, but it's Zakir Naik. Just like Muhammad claimed that revelations from other beings were Gabriel when they were not. That's the joke there.
he took some water and mixed it with some dust, thus creating mud. And Allah created man by shaping this mud into a man.
So, Allah is sharing his recipe for making man, like mixing a cocktail or baking a cake. Mix 1 part water with 2 parts dust, then take the mud and shape it into...
By the way, everybody, that address was not a real address.
Allah takes multiple substances and stirs
Best
them
thing when they say
together to
peace be
create
upon me.
a
It's
man.
really funny, but I told you this is a
Yet
lie.
Allah says,
He's saying it's funny. This is great, man. This is awesome. It's really funny, but it's a lie. By the way, that address was not a real address, everybody. Just so you know. We're not giving out anyone's address on the air. That's from a song. From some random song, okay? Just so everyone knows.
chapter 19, verse 67 of the Quran, but does not man call to mind that we created him before out of nothing?
Yeah, I won't tell you, to be honest. I didn't understand this. We created man out of nothing. I don't remember this part. But anyway, I don't think that it's important. So, because...
Well, let me show you why it is. Quran 1967. Doth not man remember that we created him before when he was not? Okay, let me go here. My study Quran. All right. Did I already look at the study Quran with this one? I don't remember, to be honest. But we're gonna do it now. Okay, here we go. But oh, wait a minute. Here for me. Oh. Did I say 1967? Oh, 1967. Oh, there's, wait, 2 places? Well, anyways, the reference I have is 1909. Let's read it here. Thus shall it be translates kad halakha, and might be rendered also as thus it is. Bringing creatures into being is easy for God, for when he decrees a thing, he only says to it be, and it is. The identical statement is given as a response to a similar question from Mary in verse 21. As an example of how easy creation is for him, God reminds Zechariah that he created him when he was nothing, indicating that God's bringing John into existence, though through aged parents, was no more miraculous than his ability to bring all things from non-existence into existence. And then let's see their commentary on verse 21. Thus shall it be, thy Lord says, it is easy for me, is the same response given to Zechariah. Jesus is a sign unto mankind, and that he serves as a proof of God's power as creator. Ho! So look at this commentary. This is why Islam is a problem. Listen to the Quran. They're saying here that this 1921, this is a little bit of a rabbit trail. Thus, and it is thus that we might make him a sign unto mankind and a mercy from us. They're interpreting that as Jesus is a sign of Allah's creative power. That's a problem. A very sign that they're saying is given from God is the fact that God created Jesus. Do you guys see the problem there? Under that. Now, everyone doesn't interpret that verse that way, by the way. But here in the study Quran, they do. And that's certainly a tenable interpretation. And that's a problem. They're saying it this way. since his birth shows that God is capable of bringing a child into being without a father, just as he was capable of bringing Adam into being without a mother or a father. Through his miraculous conception and birth, and his speaking as an infant, by the way, that is from a Gnostic source, Jesus is also a sign or proof of his own prophethood. How about his own deity? Nope, not in the Quran. And of his mother's innocence, where Mary and Jesus together are said to constitute a sign. Jesus is also a mercy from God to Mary and to those who believe in him and are guided by him. Interesting commentary. Let's continue on here.
The next part is important, and I want to talk about it.
That we created him before.
Maybe if I translate this, or if I see the part that he's talking about, I will try to replay another video.
Allah is the best of creators. He creates from nothing.
Aren't dust, water, and mud something?
Peace be upon him.
And something is the opposite of nothing, is it not?
I don't like where you're going.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't understand now. I can't understand now what he's talking about. God created us from nothing. Let me see that again. We created man out of nothing. I mean, he mean we created man of nothing, I think. But I don't know why it's out of nothing. Maybe it's from English grammar or something.
He's trying to correct the translations again.
Like this. Okay. So, if God say we created man or anything from nothing, and then he say we created man or anything from dust or something else, so that means it's wrong, right? No, this is not wrong. When God said that we created man or everything from nothing, so he created also dust from nothing. I mean, when I create dust from nothing, then I create man from dust, so I created man also from nothing. Do you understand the problem? So
He's saying there that those aren't competing candidates. He's saying the dust was made from nothing, and then God uses the dust to create man, so then he is still creating man from nothing. That's what he's saying there.
this is right. I mean, we created man out of nothing or from nothing, because we created also the dust. That we created the dust from man. I think it's clear now. Let's continue.
Out of nothing?
Alhamdulillah. Allah is the best of creators.
Yeah.
He creates from nothing.
Aren't dust, water, and mud something?
Yeah, it's something, but he created it also from nothing.
Of nothing, is it not?
I don't like where you're going with this. Maybe nothing is another ingredient that Allah mixes with the water and the dust.
I'm sure Allah could have quite the cooking channel based on his recipes for creating things. He sounds like Gordon Ramsay with the Infinity Gauntlet. But according to chapter 3, verse 47 of the Quran, when Allah creates, he simply says, be, and it is.
Peace be upon him. As I have said, Allah is the best of creators.
So, Allah creates simply by saying the word be, and yet he creates by some lengthy step-by-step process where he mixes together different ingredients and fashions them into a certain shape before breathing into them. Clearly, this goes far beyond simply saying the word be.
I don't see a problem.
Are you familiar with the law of non-contradiction?
Sounds like pagan philosophy.
Yeah, I also
God sounds-
don't see a problem, because okay, I think now he talked that how God say
This
be.
is kind of funny. Like, he's agreeing with our Muhammad character here. Muhammad says, I don't see a problem here. And the guy's like, Muhammad's right this time. I don't see a problem either. I like it. I like it, right? Yeah, 347. She said, "O my Lord, how shall I have a son when no man hath touched me? He said, even so, Allah created what he willeth when he hath decreed a plan, but he saith to it, be, and it is." Yusuf Ali's commentary says, she was addressed by angels who gave her Allah's message. In reply, she speaks as to Allah. In reply, apparently an angel again gives Allah's message. Oh, that's interesting. Because the angel is the one speaking to Mary, and yet Mary says, "Oh my Lord." So the way Yusuf Ali is portraying that is that the angel's giving Allah's message, and then she speaks as if it's to Allah, but then the angel again gives the response. Anyways, that's interesting.
It is, and that's what happened. And then in another parts he say that he created man or everything from things. So yeah, God say be, and the man will be, but it will be, there's reasons. I mean if I talk to someone, I will say go, for example, or God say to someone go, so he will go from here to here, for example. He will walk from here to here. He will never disappear from here to be here. He will, so that will be reason he will walk. So that doesn't mean that God will do all that. God will say be, and it will be, but how he have been? The reasons is the dust and the water, or there's no water, how he can say. Anyway, so it will be reasons. Do you understand? So there's dust, and we live now. We are alive now. So God say to me, be, and I have been. But how I have been? I mean, my father and my mother married, and they got me. I mean, do you understand? But in the start, God say be, and I am. So do you understand? But there's reasons. Always there's reasons. God made reasons. So I don't see also a problem. So I don't know why he talk about this. But anyway, let's see the end, because I don't think that there's something more. Yeah.
I love his reaction at the end. There's only 6 minutes left in his video. Everybody watch this. Now, I know that we already played the video, and notice his screen is frozen, but we're still hearing the audio. But I love his reaction. Check this out.
He will bomb the place.
That Allah has said.
That right there. The way he said that is so funny. Let me go back a little bit. He says it real, just like kind of reserved. He will bomb the place. Just the way he says it, he's so genuine. I love this guy. He's really authentic. He will bomb the place. Listen how he says it. I'm having too much fun tonight, but listen how he says it. It's so, like I said, it's just genuine and authentic. I love how he says it.
There's something more. Yeah, he will bomb the place.
That Allah has said. He says be, and it is. But I also have a saying. Do you want to know what it is? Dude,
Watch him smile.
Allahu Akbar!
Oh my God. Hello.
I mean, this man fell back in his chair laughing. How can you not like this guy? And I think Warrior Woman commented. She says he has a great smile. Shout out on that. You know what? It's just so genuine. Check this out.
Allahu Akbar!
Oh my God. Hello. Okay, this is it. Brother closeness in the boom boom boom. Okay, this is the end. Let's close this.
There's people in the background. I can hear them talking.
I don't know now if you can understand what I said. I don't know if you don't understand. I'm sorry. If you don't understand, maybe it's because of my English. Or maybe because you don't believe me. Or maybe you... I don't know. But I told you, this is really wrong. That's lying. You can't lie when you talk about God, when you talk about religion, when you talk about something really important. I mean...
Unless it's Takia.
Yeah, you can make mistake, but I don't think that he make mistake. I don't think that he really think that the Prophet Muhammad say peace be upon me in
We don't.
real life. It cannot be. It will be rude that he always say when he is with his friends, peace be upon me. Yeah, he's talking to Abu Bakr or Umar. Yeah, peace be upon me. No, cannot be. This will be.
It's so funny because all of a sudden now I have this picture. Do you hear what he said? He's like, that would be really rude if Muhammad, whenever he's with his friends, and he mentions Abu Bakr and Omar, he was always like, peace be upon me. That would be rude. Oh man, it's so funny. But then again, Muhammad could be rude, you know. That would be rude. What's so funny that he says that? It just gives me a visual of Muhammad around, and he's like, peace be upon me. to his friends.
that he always say when he is when with his friends, peace be upon me. Yeah, he's talking to Abu Bakr or Umar. Yeah, peace be upon me. No, this is cannot be. This will be rude. And I will tell you again. I will tell you again the things that I said before. I think in another videos.
Okay, I don't know exactly where this part is, but there's only 4 minutes left. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I do need to play one part of what he says. It's touching. He says, I wish Christianity was true, but I think Islam is probably true. He's going to... So stick around for this, okay? Listen to this.
The Prophet Muhammad cannot be lying. Cannot be lying. There's no reason make him lie to us.
So he's going to make an argument here to say, look, Muhammad must be a true prophet because he has no incentive to lie. And it's very difficult to get people to follow you when you start a religion. That's basically what he's going to say. Listen to this argumentation. It's very interesting.
Because when you see how it's hard, it's really hard to say I am prophet. Who you think that will believe you? I mean, no.
Well, Joseph Smith did it. To an extent, you could say L. Ron Hubbard did it. I mean, Charles Taze Russell and the whole organization did it. Brigham Young did it. I mean, I know what he's trying to say, but not really, man.
You can do this challenge. Go to any popular place that you can find different people from different religion and say, I am a new prophet. I have message from God. I have new religion.
That's exactly what Muhammad did, and the Jews and Christians rejected him, which is interesting based on what he's going to say here.
And call the religion whatever you want. Who do you think that will believe you? Nobody. The Muslims not going to believe you. The Christians not.
Yeah, the Christians didn't believe, and the Jews didn't believe, but a lot of the pagans did believe, and the ones who didn't, honestly, ended up dead. You know?
To believe you. The atheist not going. Nobody will believe you. So he was not lying. It's so hard to do this. And as all Christian Arabs say that he said that I am prophet to be king of the Arabs, to have ladies. I don't know.
As all Christians say, Muhammad said, I'm a prophet to be king of the Arabs or to have ladies. Well, honestly, it is clear that Muhammad became quite a political ruler, gaining lots of temporal power. He said he was made victorious through terror, and he did get a lot of ladies. Now, listen to what he's going to say. It's very contradictory here, and this is why I got to pray for this young man.
And things like this. No, this is really wrong. To get ladies, it was so easy before Islam because
it was so easy, man. It was so easy to get ladies, man. Hey, incel, you guys hear that? It's so easy to get ladies. Someone needs to go on the incel community websites and boards or wherever they hang out these days and tell them, guys, it's really easy to get ladies, man. This guy said it was so easy before. It's really easy, man.
You see a lot of people marry 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
You know what? That's funny. He just said 10, 11, 12. Muhammad had 9 to 11 wives. He just gave the number of women Muhammad actually married. He said before Muhammad, it was easy to get ladies. You see people marry 9, 10, 11. According to the hadith, the sources, Muhammad had 9 to 11 wives. You just mentioned the number, brother, that Muhammad, and I don't say brother in the Christian sense, in the human sense. I think it's okay to call people that. You understand. You know, clearly I'm not saying because he's a Muslim, he's a brother in the Lord. That's not what I'm saying. But brother, my brother in humanity, you just gave the amount of wives Muhammad had after Khadijah died. He started piling them up, you know?
Wives. There's no problem about this. When Prophet Muhammad came, he made it 4, just 4. But
he did make it just 4 for everybody else but him. And as long as you can treat them fairly. Who really thinks that if you have 4 wives, you're going to treat them all fairly? Come on, man. That's just not how it goes. I think everybody knows that. We did a video on this. I forget what it's like called something like Alexa says Muhammad's a false prophet, where we ask Alexa, we ask her how many wives are allowable in Islam, and Alexa gives the right answer. And then we say, how many wives did Muhammad have? And then Alexa gives us the right answer. And then we say, Alexa, what is a contradiction or what is hypocrisy? And Alexa gives us the answer. And that's how the video ends. I got to put that on my channel. It's only on David's channel right now.
Because he married the other ladies, I mean, the other wives before that, so he left them. I mean, he didn't divorce them. But he didn't make religion just to get a lot of ladies. This is really wrong. I mean, I don't.
It sounds like he's trying to say Muhammad married his other women before this rule and then he divorced them. I don't think that's correct. I'm not sure if that's what he's saying, so I'm just going to pass on that because I'm not sure what he's saying.
And there's another things. When you want to make religion, to want to be king, so you will say things, make people like you, make.
This is interesting what he's saying. So notice at the end of the video, he's giving just essentially an apologetic for the Prophet Muhammad, because that's really what the Boom Boom Room is going against, is saying Muhammad is not a prophet. He's saying that if you want to make a successful religion, you say things that people will like, and he's saying that Islam doesn't say that. My man, and I say this with all due respect, Muhammad said that the men of Islam in Jannah, paradise, they're going to have, what is it? How many bedroom-eyed, big bosom women? How many houris? You know? Because a lot of translations seem to basically interpret the understanding of the virgins you'll get as having bedroom eyes, and being big bosomed, and being essentially eternally virginal. These houris, that you're going to get. And you're going to be able to drink all you want, according to the sources of Islam. I hear what you're saying, man, and I think he's sincere. This is why we need to make sure we put I wanted to do this video because it was a fun response, but also to give people a heart for Muslims across the world. There's a lot of guys like this out there. Pray for this man.
People love you, make people, So Prophet Muhammad, what he said? He said you can drink alcohol.
Yeah, you can't drink alcohol now. By the way, that was a later revelation because there's another Quranic passage that says, don't be drunk, basically. And so then that got abrogated to where, so it's like steps or stages. Guys, not to be, I know it's 72, but I was doing that like if he watches the video, so he'll say the number in his head. I'm trying to get him to realize that. But I appreciate that. The 72, you guys are correct. I appreciate that.
People like alcohol. That's what make people leave him. But people didn't leave him. He's.
You guys can't hear it. I didn't hear this the first time I listened to this video. But now that I have the headphones on, provided by Dr. Funny, shout out to my man, even though he's not in the live chat today, I can hear the call to prayer in the background now. I'm glad I have these headphones. No joke. It's in the background. It just started right now. In the background of this video is the call to prayer. By the way, which shows you he's faithful, but not entirely faithful, because he's making this video when the call to prayer is happening. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, don't eat pork. That's also will make people leave you. I mean, people like to be free. I mean, I like to be free. If I like alcohol, I will drink alcohol. If I don't like it, I will don't drink it. If I want to eat meat of pork, okay, I will eat it. I like to be free, but no, Prophet Muhammad was not give you things that make you happy. No, he just.
I mean, first of all, that's an interesting phrase. Muhammad would not give you things that would make you happy. I hear what you're saying, but first of all, people love rules. It's weird, but the rules of Muhammad actually are like almost rules for licentiousness. For example, David just did a video, and it's true enough, about the situation with the Muta marriage, right? Number one. Number two, Muhammad led a bunch of raids on caravans, which we poke fun at and Islamicize me with the whole, Robert Spencer robbed our caravan. I don't know if you guys have caught that. But that's something people would like. They got to enrich themselves. And plus, the Muslim fighters got a guarantee to go to Jannah, where they're going to have a bunch of women waiting on them. And plus, they got captive of the booty, physical in many different ways. You know what I'm saying by that? In this earth, this life. I'm just saying.
Rules to this world. I mean, and people believed him. There's a lot of things, a lot of hard things. I mean, the Christianity is more easy. Is more. That's why we see a lot.
Christianity is more easy. Well, there is freedom in Christ, but anyways, it's interesting. Listen, this is the part I really wanted to play. Everyone, listen very carefully to this. Let's transition from the silly aspect, although we've done lots of serious tonight. Really listen with an open mind and open ears and open heart right here. Okay, everyone, please.
Christian, because the Christianity is so free. I mean, yeah, Jesus crucified us for our sins. This is the most beautiful thing in the Christianity. I really hope from all my heart that the Christianity is the right religion, because I'm doing a lot of sins in Islam. I will go to hell if I did now, but I try to be better, inshallah. I always say.
I have got to play that again. He just said Jesus died for your sins. That is the most beautiful thing. I feel like what Jesus said to someone he interacted with once in the Gospels, where he said, "You are not far from the kingdom." Don't you feel right now with this man, you are not far from the kingdom? He is saying the crucifixion, the atonement. He's saying the atonement is the most beautiful thing. He realizes the beauty of Jesus paying for our sins and then recognizes his own failure. A lot of Muslims, if you talk to a lot of Muslims, this attitude is not exactly common. This is a beautiful thing. And he says, I'm doing a lot of sins right now. Even under Islam, he's saying, I would go to hell right now if I died. Did you hear that? That's a heart that cries out for the gospel, in my view, guys. Listen to this and pray for this young man.
The Christianity is more easy. Is more. That's why we see a lot of Christians, because the Christianity is so free. I mean, yeah, Jesus crucified us for our sins. This is the most beautiful thing in the Christianity. I really hope from all my heart that the Christianity is the right religion, because I'm doing a lot of sins in Islam. I will go to hell if I did now, but I try to be better, inshallah. I always say that. So I hope that Islam is wrong, but I don't think so. Really.
I hope Islam is wrong, but I don't think so. I pray for this man's sake. A lot of people in his country do not see this video. I'm serious. I hope that they do not see this. I would be concerned about him if they see this video.
This is the difference between us and you, between you and us, you and me. So yeah, then just like this. If you like this video, so please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Turn on his bell, make sure for the video. Make sure for the video with the Christians. Or if you are Christian, so yeah, make sure put this video with your friend and maybe this guy.
He said, hey, share this video with the Christians. You know what? Subscribe to this guy's channel. And then everybody counteract the negative comments. I like I said, a lot of the comments so far were really harsh on this guy. And I could tell they were like the hard edge of the David Wood Act 17 apologetics fans. Let's not be that way. Listen to this.
Video. If you are this guy, I mean, I don't know why the name of this guy. I think this is the name, apologetics. I don't know. Anyway, so if you are this guy and you watch me, please don't lie. I mean, there's things I'm sure that you know that this is lie. Like, peace be upon me. This is lie. And please try to get the real words from Quran, because this is wrong translation. Yeah, maybe you will say that the Muslims translated to English. Oh, okay, I'm sorry about this. This is really wrong. I mean,
he's apologizing for bad translations. Oh man.
I told you, I gave you another example. I saw it by myself. Nobody told me about it. I was reading Quran in English, and I saw that part. I said, oh my God, what English people think about us. So maybe there's a lot of wrongs. Maybe wrongs, it's like this, can make someone say, what is this religion, what is this God? I mean, he sometimes say like this, sometimes say like this. I told you, this is wrong. The meaning is not like this. Every person can understand the meaning like he think. Anyway, thank you for watching, and bye.
Someone just said, what's his channel? I put the link down there actually right now in the channel. You should be able to see it. Wow, I actually had several books I was going to try to get to. I was going to read from the Quran Dilemma, partially authored by my friend Al Fadi. I was going to get more into a couple other books I have comparing the Quran and the Bible and a Christian guide to Quran. And I was going to go through the other passages to talk about the creation of man, and I was going to read an Answering Islam article. But we've ran out of time. I didn't think it was going to go this long like that. There's actually a lot more I was going to do. Wow, crazy. I guess I over-prepared for this show. But you know, God is good. I think God used this show because now people are going to be praying for this young man. Hey, Michelle Marie. I don't know where the young man is from, but Michelle Marie, welcome back to Patreon. And maybe one day you can get yourself one of these, Michelle. But seriously, Michelle is one of the biggest supporters since day one. And she deserves props. And just thank you for coming back. You know, not that you went anywhere, but I know you've been busy and stuff. No Magic Backpack. Well, if you look, actually, I put it in the background, Nate. Look. Do you notice? Look. Magic Backpack is in the back there of the video now. But really, we've got to get to the freestyle now, everybody. We have got to get to the freestyle because I think we earned one here with the the amount of viewers we had. And so I saw Soko earlier. Soko, what's up to you, man? Let me find what beat we might use. Let's try. I like this one. Let's try this one. Hold on. What's going on? Hold on. Am I gonna do this one or not? Let me see here. Let's see if we're gonna do this one. That one's pretty dope. All right, I think we'll do that one. That one works. Let me fix some stuff here, though. Let me see here. First of all, I need to get that level lower, and I need to fix this. All right. We're switching. All right. Let's just do this Soko beat. All right, everybody, freestyle is about to go down. Let us do it. Let's see here. About to bring it out. Bring it out. All right. Here we go. Soko on the beat. Nice sample, yeah. All right, turn it up, yeah. Count me in now. Freestyle. Yeah. All right now. I hear Castro. Sup, DJ Fidel. Back in the days, rhyming with Vidal. What's up, Fidel Castro? I got a lasso like Wonder Woman. Hey yo, peep who's coming. Coming in the live chat, Liza J. Just came out, she's not from NJ, but New York, Astoria. Today we give God the gloria. Warrior, woman, freestyle time. Here's this rhyme from the top of the mind. Look at the watch, it's time to rock. Hey yo, who's coming? Doctorate on the block, that's the name. The spot is Phoenix. I pray this young man turns to Jesus. Not a genius like David Wood. Peep it out now, I call him Hollywood. Hollywood, he's a superstar. I ride this track like a Lexus car. That's right, I said a Lexus. Peep it out now, I was chillin' in Texas. Shout out to my exes. Tomorrow, I eat some breakfast. Eat an omelet, I'ma let that slide. Vocab alone with a Soko vibe. Yes indeed, now we let it ride. Got to drop that foolish pride. I have arrived on time to spit. Yes indeed, the beat's legit. It just don't quit like hammer, it's it. Kinda feeling it, it's exquisite. I spit linguistic on the microphone. First name vocab, last name alone. Got a dog in the back. He's on the couch, not on my lap. Party people, yo, where you at? Got a Kango. It's on my hat, I meant on my head. From the top of the head, all resurrect even when I'm dead. Right said Fred, that's a really old song. Gotta stop the show, can't go too long. Keep on and on. Vocab Malone, don't wanna be a pawn but a soldier for Jehovah. Look at my notes, open up my folder. For Islam, read the Quran, and then I be like Muhammad. I be the bomb in the boom boom room. Turn up the volume. Pork, yo, they cannot consume, but unless they get saved, they'll meet their doom. This is the end, so enjoy this tune. Thanks for joining me, ladies and gentlemen, on another episode of Street Apologists Live, where we seek to make apologetics fun again. Stick around. I plan on going live either tonight or tomorrow or the next day and make apologetics fun again. Shalom.